Ahoy! Yahtzee Croshaw here, and this is my ex-wife, Gabriel. I killed him. So why don't you talk us through your choice for the words thrill ride?
Well, this was my third choice.
Yes, I get it.
And bear in mind, yeah, so I originally wanted to do some kind of weird roller coaster game that was kind of actiony, and you actually built the roller coaster in front of the track in front of the roller coaster as it was going.
Couldn't finish us with a name, could you?
Can't remember.
Michael Jackson has a face like a spade.
That's racist. Then I wanted to do Thrill Kill, because I'd had the word thrill in it. And that was a fucking nightmare of trying to get fraps to recognize an emulator, etc., etc.
How do I insert coins?
And then I lost my shit and decided I'd do Michael Jackson's Moonwalker because it has a whole stage dedicated to Thriller.
And why wouldn't you?
Thriller Night.
Now, how do I insert coins?
You push the back button.
Okay. Oh, whoa. Fuck the game, I'm just gonna do this.
Doesn't just stop being fun.
Oh,
and now
you kinda...
start, select, so push start. And now, me, so Michael Jackson and another color Michael Jackson are going to
That's racist.
Rescue children by touching them.
Yes.
This is a game that people made deliberately.
Are we going to rescue that child that just giggled for us there?
No, he's kind of an evil child that's going to just drop grenades on us periodically throughout the thing.
You're just going to touch that small
Yeah,
girl?
I'm just going to, guys...
Well, just to assume she'll be alright.
Yeah.
I'm going to touch this monkey. Oh, look at me.
Yep, that's what touching a monkey does. Touching children is just fun. Touching a monkey actually turns you into a superpowered robot.
Yeah, touching the monkey means it's time for serious business.
Oh, yeah. Have you ever seen the movie that this is based on?
Don't mess with me, lads. I touched the monkey. Guys, he touched the monkey.
Touch the monkey.
Why do we have that around here?
I know, why do we have the fucking monkey with robot changing around?
Maybe the monkey was a kidnap victim.
No!
That was not a sentence.
That's so good.
That was just a noise.
Oh, I love this game.
Wait, we haven't shown off. We haven't shown off what the other button does.
Oh, cool. The Blues Brothers are here to dance with us.
Wow, they're dancing like they're trying to fling snot off the ends of their hands. Back off, Mr. Jim Z.
Bad
Mr. Jimmy
touch.
Hat. Come back here, Mr. Jimmy Hat.
You leave that child alone.
Yes, they're all mine. You leave that child alone.
It's time to dance.
You leave that child alone. I haven't finished paying my insurance premiums on that yet.
They're expensive too. It's not just
Jimmy the White Slaver. He's got some extortionate pricing going on.
Well, you know, Jimmy the White Slaver has standards.
Everyone's called Jimmy, since you ask.
Is Jimmy the gun guy? Jimmy the robot?
Oh, I fell on my face like a twat.
You can't kill Red Michael Jackson.
I'll rescue this little blue fat entity.
Yay, Michael molested me.
Yay, this'll be...
Stop grenading us.
Yeah, I'm heading straight to the tabloid newspapers.
Oh. Hey. Stop with your barrels, you Donkey Kongs.
Take a bow, Michael Jackson, because you done fucked up, son.
His final bow. Fighting a bunch of Donkey Kong cosplayers.
Here's a symbol of the Red Cross.
Would they be called Kong players?
What?
What little hops they do.
Oh, wow, don't mess with these guys. They've been to a self-defense course.
That's my purse.
I'm gonna dance.
Good choice.
Well, those guys just kept punching themselves in the crotch.
That's what the power of dance does to you.
No wonder they died.
Yeah. That's just... half of Michael Jackson's dance is a dick punching.
You don't see so many isometric brawlers, do you?
No, this was from that kind of weird era in arcades where just fucking everything was made an arcade game.
Controls are a bit dodgy.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe this is just me. When I'm playing an isometric game, I like up and down to corroborate to moving along the lines of the isometric grid. But that's just me. In this case, moving directly left moves directly left.
Yeah, it's a little bit of an odd one. You kind of have to zigzag your way through the stages.
I'm gonna punch this man. Stop playing, you lovable gypsy. Hey,
He's not a lovable gypsy, he's a hate-filled gypsy.
I was ahead of the curve there.
Yeah. You could detect his filthy gyppo ways.
Fucking gypsies.
Filthy. So much casual racism in this game, it disgusts me.
Yeah, take Michael Jackson's example. White is right.
You got the robot monkey.
Always.
Stop stealing the now you just
Oh, I fell over.
Oh, you come back as the robot, so you're like robot forever. I didn't know that. I thought it was like a short-term power-up.
Turns out this robot suit fucking top heavy. Probably should have realised that. I mean, look at my epaulets.
Metal Michael.
Those are like crash helmets.
Oh no, we're both robots.
Yes. This is how it should be.
Robot-y Michael Jackson's saving the day. I had this exact dream.
Can I take a wild stab in the dark here? Is there a sequence in this game where you also turn into the car from Moonwalker, the film?
I can't remember actually. I think it might be like a reference to it, but I don't know if there's a gameplay element.
When you do that, is there like a sudden gameplay shift so you're driving along a road avoiding other cars?
I honestly can't remember. But
that seems like the sort of thing this sort of game would do.
It really does. So you can charge your shot as well and like shoot like little missiles.
Because I say that games do that all the time these
Robot
days
dance.
as well.
Oh, that's right. Your turn. Come on, Mr. Robot, you can dance too.
So they didn't bother to make an animation for the robot to dance as well?
Lazy.
I mean, all the fucking Michael Jackson money that was behind this.
Bizarre amount of Michael Jackson money.
There was like... How many different versions of Moonwalker were there as games?
Two major ones that I remember. There was the console version of this, which is a weird 2D thing where you have to run around rescuing children from cupboards.
Wow, that man clutching that child suddenly makes me very, very excited.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there was...
Squeeze them tight.
There was a thing...
Night Street.
There was a thing that was on... I think I'm right in saying Genesis. And
yes.
And where it was a strictly 2D brawler, but had similar sprites to this.
Yeah, it was similar sort of basic concept, but...
There was one I played back in my Commodore 64 days, which was very strange. It was like a top-down thing where you were walking around a city and you were trying to put together the component parts of a bunny suit.
What?
Because it was a reference to a music video.
I didn't think you were able to make this weirder.
That had a bunny suit in it.
Huh. That one I don't actually know, because I know...
It was called Moonwalker, though.
Oh, interesting. Because, like, Michael Jackson apparently...
Well, see, Michael Jackson's brain is in the hat. He's like a sort of alien parasite situation. The moment the hat falls off.
Yeah, then it's picked up by another.
Oh no, Rise of the Triad traps.
It's time to dance!
Of course it is. Punch yourselves in the crotch, stupid gangsters. It's amazing how easily led these guys are.
Ow! That was a dance of futility and I got hit by a car.
Wouldn't kill you to have a run animation, would it, Mr. Michael Jackson?
That would have taken so much extra effort back then.
Why doesn't he just walk backwards everywhere while you're at it?
He does when you're charging your shots. See, look. I'm gonna walk up to you.
Paff.
Well, we'll get a nice MIDI version of that song pretty soon if we haven't already.
And now we're fighting giant pieces of stationery.
Watch the penis robot dance. Yeah, do it.
Oh god, it has got a penis as well. There is a thrusting penis robot next to two innocent, restrained children, and we are Michael Jackson.
Yeah, okay, let's see. My white Michael Jackson and your red Michael Jackson are going to make the penis AT-AT dance near these kids, and that'll save the day.
See, at the point when you can mock something just by describing it word for word, is the point where you probably should reconsider.
Yeah, stop drilling, you've struck oil.
When those knife guys run in place, I imagine that run in place sound effect from old Warner Brothers cartoons, which I'm not going to try to imitate because it is such a unique sound.
So many of the how did they? There's probably a documentary about
there's probably some Foley artist who was paid millions for that, or probably not because it was Hollywood.
Yeah, well, it's like the
old.
He
was paid 10p in a kiss, and then the sound effect made $10 million for the company.
Yeah, he was paid in not being beat up by goons. Well, that's
hired goons.
Ray. What's he? I can't remember his name, but he did the song Powerhouse. The dun 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 dun.
I was going to say Harryhausen.
No, but
you said Powerhausen.
Powerhausen. That sounds like a German band.
Powerhausen. I think that's what the name of those dogs are.
Powerhouses.
Powerhausen Hund. Och, ach nein, the Powerhausen Hund.
I'm calling them Power Schnauzers.
Yes, little girls say Michael in a little bit of synth voice. I remember when synth voice was a rare thing, and we were really impressed every time it happened.
This was kind of a big deal when it came out because it had music. It had Michael Jackson before he'd been accused of a bunch of stuff.
Yes, I think this game was submitted as evidence for all that, wasn't it?
It could have been. I honestly.
Would you like
He
to explain
declared his
to the,
guilt in a video game form. You don't see that often. Like,
Would you
OJ
like-
wrote that book, but Michael Jackson made a game.
Would you like to explain the
premise of
the
this.
premise of this video game in your own words, Mr. Michael Jackson?
Oh,
Well, the
yeah.
idea is I'm on a quest to touch all the children in the world.
Why are you guys laughing? What?
Weird. Nobody is laughing, Mr. Jackson. Silence in the court. Monkey,
touch
come
the
back here,
monkey.
monkey.
Yeah,
Yes.
Robuddies saving kids.
Touching the monkey's great. That zookeeper was lying to me.
Zookeepers lie a lot about touching the animals. That's a.
Oh, I'm the red one. I
Ow.
forgot.
Okay, that's.
Thought I was you
the
for a second.
awards.
There. Oh no, I fell.
No, you're Crimson Jackson. Jackson the Red.
I am red. Jackson Red, the energy drink. So let's speed up this guy in his motorized wheelchair. Why is so much of this game reminding me of Rise of the Triad?
I'd love it if they were like.
Yeah, oh, he's Dr. Robotnik now, is he?
Didn't Sega have something to do with this game? I couldn't remember. I can't remember if I was watching the intro, but.
Oh,
I know, like, Sega teamed up, like, it was a big deal, like, Sega and Michael Jackson, together at last.
I like there's 3 flavors of children for Michael Jackson to choose from.
Well, you know, variety is the spice of pedophilia.
What's he saying?
Hee hee ha ha.
Hee hee ha. Ah, this will be the thriller level.
Oh,
Let's
yeah.
Dance, dance, monkeys, dance. Hey, those robots aren't joining in. What a killjoy.
The robots haven't woken up yet,
Oh,
but it's okay, they're Reek robots.
I see.
They can't. Even giant mechanized death machines can't keep me from children.
So you're Michael Jackson, and I'm the Red Phantom Michael Jackson from Dark Souls. Although I'm coming in to help you, so that doesn't make sense.
Someone's fan cannon. Fanon.
Is this young Michael Jackson, the black kid?
Oh,
It's your past self.
look, that kid's tied up and struggling. Just
Yes.
help me. Help.
Yes, well, perhaps we could set him free, but on the other hand, no one will ever know what happened here.
Don't look a gift hog-tied child in the
I mean, what's
groin.
this kid gonna say? He's gonna say, and yes, they had these weird vacuum cleaner robots, and there were like 500 guys who all grabbed themselves in the crotch when Michael Jackson told them to. I think that's going to undermine any claims he later makes to Esther Ranson's child line.
You gotta throw doubt on the child.
And also, there's a guy in a
Kids.
gyroscope.
They make stuff up. The moto unicycle.
Be right with you, love.
It's at this point I should say that I have absolutely no idea if this game will take an hour to beat.
Alright. Well, we got infinite credits, don't we?
Yeah, which is
Da, 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 da.
no.
Well, I'm sure we'll find some way to pass the time.
Yeah,
Hey, zombies!
we'll just sit here and quietly play a game of cards or something ourselves.
So the zombies working for the evil guy.
I just think they're about, you know.
Right. Rawr.
Fuck it. Look at the zombies dance.
Well, look at them go.
It's pretty much how I used to dance
Well,
when
they're
I
not
was
so
drunk.
much dancing as shifting their center of gravity, are they?
Yeah. Kind of trying not to fall over, really, which, you know, in certain circumstances, it's the same
I'm
thing.
bored of talking about the content of this mad game, except that Michael Jackson looks like he's dying of terminal masturbation incidents. He has to fall over with his hand under him, doesn't he?
Must touch the penis.
Oh no, must have one last
So-
memory of childhood before I die.
What have we got
Oh
to talk
yeah,
about?
you female zombies work it.
Got some sass.
Well, I have one major topic for this week, summarized simply by the phrase, Ubisoft done fucked up, son.
Ha 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 ha. Unity!
By which we mean Assassin's Creed Unity, not the popular game engine.
Yeah. Oh, it's fun. Into a gaming landscape of strife.
I won't talk too much about the content for the usual reason, but I will say this, that I got the PC version, and one afternoon's attempting to play it later, I got out and got the PS4 version
That's
as well.
impressive. Like, that's impressively bad. I
mean, everyone's having different issues, it seems. My specific one that I couldn't stand was the stuttering.
Yeah, you told me, what is it, once a second it'd stutter and then jiggle the,
Yeah, there was like, it would pause for a brief moment every, like, what the hell is Michael Jackson doing now? I think he's flashing to the child.
Yeah, if you just stand still for a while, it's just like, gotta air out my junk.
Of course. But yes, every now and again, the game would just pause and then start again. And every time it started again, the physics objects, I think that because there'd be a queue up of numbers affecting the physics movements, and then it would all like release at once when the game started again. So every physics object would just do a little boop, jump into the air.
That's great.
And that was made fucking hilarious by one scene earlier when there's a bunch of assassins standing around in like some impressive secret meeting, and they're all looking all noble and mysterious. But every second their hoods just go whoop, tops of their hoods just go whoop, swoop. Like they'd just done a little fart.
Machines fighting ghosts at us.
Whoop, whoop. You fool, we're machines too. You're fighting your brethren.
Dance.
So that was annoying. But I found that went away if I unplugged my internet connection.
Interesting.
Because apparently it does that because it's constantly trying to access the Ubisoft servers for all the bloody online functionality it's got.
Hey, have you bought this? Hey, Yahtzee, have you bought this? You tried buying this, Yahtzee?
Yes, it's everywhere. It's like browsing the internet in the early 90s. You can't walk 5 steps without being asked to sign up for something.
Hey, sign up for this. I think that's almost worse these days. Like, the amount of websites I go to where a little pop-up will show up and then go, hey, have you thought about downloading the app for this, like, specific website so you can see it at home?
Yeah, I'm getting that. And, but even though I managed to get rid of that problem, I was still crashing to desktop every now and again. I didn't want to have to put up with that, so I got the PS4 version, which still suffered from frame rate drops.
Wow, really?
Yep. I mean, it's stable, but it does have the frame rate drops and the bugs and the clipping and falling through the floor every now and again.
Well, at least it's consistent in its port.
It wasn't fit for purpose. Oh, Evil Fortress is it, Moonwalker? Thank you for clarifying. I thought this was one of those lovely fortresses where Bin Laden hands out the ice cream sandwiches to all the children of Afghanistan. So...
Oh, pushed the wrong button. Now I'm making a little snake Roomba dance by itself.
Of course. That too reminds me of Rise of the Triad. And sex. But apparently the Unity fuck-up has been such an epic one that on the day of release, Ubisoft's stock price went down.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
Fucked up. Your game sucked so hard, your stock dropped.
You see, that whole opening weekend shit doesn't really fly anymore.
Good! Fuck 'em!
Because back in the day, word wouldn't get around until Monday, when everyone was back at work. I noticed that as well as having a penis, these robots also have a hole in the top. I guess I know what these robots do in their spare time now.
Double up! Thrustmo is built for one purpose. You cannot stop Thrustmo.
What was I saying?
Unity being a turd and stock price dropping.
Yes. I forgot where I was.
The penis robot just takes my brain.
Well, yes. Well, yes, it's just pooey.
It is astonishing.
Oh, yeah, so I was talking about opening weekends.
Ah, right, there we are, yeah.
Well, back in the day, you know, like the studios would make sure they had enough bums on seats on opening weekends so that no one would know it was shit until everyone got around the water cooler on Monday. But these days, you can know about it 4 seconds into watching the film. Start tweeting around.
Makes me wonder why they still do review embargoes. Like, a review embargo to me is a fucking red flag. Like, that's a... Ooh.
Yeah, and they've got another one going for Far Cry 4, which is a bad sign.
Yeah, especially after all this. Like, after all this, it's just like, I don't think a review embargo is going to help improve anything here.
Yeah, it's just fuck up after fuck up at this point.
I like to think that they saw a gaming community wrecked by strife, and they were like, we can save this.
Ubisoft.
We can bring everyone together again.
Evil Within was Ubisoft as well, wasn't it?
No, that was Bethesda.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, I got my monsters confused.
You got your Griffin confused.
It's a shame because I always thought of all the monsters of AAA game design. I thought for a while Ubisoft was one of the good ones.
It's amazing how just quickly it changes.
I mean, they made the well, I wouldn't say quickly. I mean, they've been pulling this Assassin's Creed shit for years. The last Assassin's Creed was good. I liked Black Flag. But it was sort of a point of no return because once you give us a pirate ship, you can't really go back.
Yeah.
We had a pirate ship. Where's the new pirate ship? Oh, sorry, we're rolling back to before we had a pirate ship.
No, remember running? Yeah.
And then it was shit. I dreaded having to go on land in Black Flag. Because you'd always make me do one of those fucking tail missions, didn't you?
What do you think of the... what's your take on the microtransaction presence?
I think it's bullshit, and I don't think any of this like sign up for accounts or microtransaction or anything is in the least bit designed to benefit the consumer.
Oh, Jesus, no.
And that's why it should be rejected.
Yes, it is grotesque.
It's
comical, like, to me.
It's just a grotesque, overspending industry trying to survive in the most vicious ways it can.
You can spend, like, apparently the max you can spend on the hack coins is like $100. So the price of the game, essentially, like for Australia at least. I'm presuming it's $100 in Australia. Typically.
They're usually around 70 these days.
Oh, really? So it's...
I don't know if there was a major decision to drop the price because there was an invasion of the sensible noids from the planet Nice. But yeah, most game purchases have been around $70 to $90 lately.
Yeah. Jeez, I remember when they used to... I bought games...
Yeah, I remember when they were like 110 a pop 110, for a new game. Hey, one each!
Da, 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 da.
I am a robot. I have come for the children.
I am programmed just to touch. It's not sexual. You don't understand.
This robot is the first prototype of me. It was not a sophisticated design.
It had missiles for reasons we have not adequately explained.
Those smaller ones weren't even the prototype. They were the proof of concept.
Yeah. There's a model you can buy these days. For some reason, like, Thrusto is immune to shots sometimes. I think while his dick's out, he's just like, you can't hurt him, which is kind of counterintuitive to me.
I keep one of those small dick robots on my desk. Well, I say on my desk, more behind my desk, really.
He scuttles about and peeks.
I have a remote control for when I need to unwind at the end of a long day. Well, when I say behind my desk, behind my chair. Full disclosure, I let it fuck me.
It's pneumatic. Steam driven. I can't remember if this is like a bit before there's a reset and there's a stage 10, or it actually ends at stage 5. I hope it goes into stage 10.
Spider robot.
Does whatever a fat guy and a spider robot can.
I'm just saying what I see here.
That's about all you can do at this point for this game. Just describe it. Describe what you're looking at.
Yes, Ubisoft also made the Prince of Persia: Sands of Time trilogy, which is one of my favourite trilogies from the last but one generation. So I was ready to forgive them a lot, but I think they've they've eaten from the tree of knowledge. Well, they've been tainted.
I mean, it's how much has Ubisoft changed as a company since that time, though? Like, you know, could it have undergone significant corporate restructuring to the point where it is just really a very different sort of entity?
Oh man, we've turned into planes. We're probably going to have a stage now where we're planes. I said it was cars.
No, I think that's the end.
Is it?
Yeah, I think it's literally only 5 stages. I thought it was 10 stages.
He literally was Dr. Robotnik, wasn't he? With those.
I'm trying to think now if this came before. I think this actually might have beat Robotnik to the punch.
Well, there's a connection there, isn't there? Because Michael Jackson allegedly worked on the music for Sonic 3.
I'd believe that, because some of the music in the Sonic games are great.
Oh, his name was Mr. Big.
Yeah, there we go.
Hush my mouth.
How long have we been talking for? Because I'm guessing not long enough.
And with his mattress force of reduced to cinders, he is no longer a threat to mankind. But what of Michael? All that is known is that he was last seen soaring away from the crumbling enemy stronghold, heading towards the distant horizon. And the children that he saved? Very big question mark. Well, they're smiling. We had them stuffed.
Alright, so that ended a lot faster than I thought it was going to.
Right. And we're 23 minutes in. I think Ubisoft's not the only one who done fucked up.
Yeah, well, I was sick all week, so you can cut me some slack.
And now we can't change games without having to stop the record, and I'm buggered from doing that because it messes with the editing.
Does it?
Yes. Well, it makes it more work that I'm unwilling to do.
Just have a big jump.
Well, let's just play it again, but let's do a skill run.
Speedruns, yeah.
Sega, we chose to be associated with this product.
It was them, yeah.
You know, maybe we're just a product of a more cynical time. Maybe we should just be seeing this with the innocent spirit with which it was intended.
Innocent spirit of a 50-year-old damaged individual. I'd actually buy the...
Oh, you got the higher score. Fuck you.
Yeah, I'm better at being Michael Jackson. White Michael Jackson is supreme Michael Jackson.
YTZ. Not to be confused with XTC. That was a different thing.
That was a British new wave band.
Yes, fact fans.
I like XTC, actually.
Well, we beat 8 MJs. Mary Jane will be shaking her fist up Peter Parker's bum.
Intercourse. Yeah, so, like... Because the... What is it? The microtransactions that Ubisoft have got in the game...
Do you say Ubisoft? I say Ubisoft because I keep seeing the phrase at Ubisoft production, so I assume it has to be the pronunciation has to start with a consonant.
Oh, so it is Ubisoft.
Yeah,
Okay, well, it's
because
Ubisoft.
they say a Ubisoft, and they don't say an Ubisoft production.
Oh, okay. I just kind of think of it like, now I'm starting to associate it with like Uwe Boll, which I know is just pronounced like with 2 O's. It's gonna be my fucking message tone after this. You gotta push start as well.
Oops, yes. I'm Mr. Big, the ruler. I'm Michael Jackson, the protractor. Hey, where's me?
I'm Yahtzee Croshaw, the compass.
I keep pressing that button. I don't
Straight
mean
away.
to.
Quick dance. It's just your instinct to dance.
Well, it's because I've been
natural.
playing Unity this week, so my first instinct is to hold down the right trigger and A.
Huh.
And then push forward towards destination.
And then you parkour everywhere. So yeah, I remember SmackDown versus Raw, I think 2011.
Haha! I always get the first monkey. Wake up!
Your monkey grabbing skills are par excellence, Yahtzee. I cannot challenge your monkey grabbing skills. Everyone knows this. I'd be a fool to try.
This
I cannot hold a candle to your monkey grabbing skills.
this charge attack leaves me underwhelmed.
Yeah, everything in this game is pretty underwhelming.
The number of times I've said that.
Yeah, so SmackDown vs. Raw 20... I'm pretty sure it was 2011. If you went to the store page on the PS store, which is the one I had it on, one of the options of things you could buy was, I think for like $2.99, you could just unlock all the content of the game. And you didn't have to it just meant you didn't have to play through like season mode 3 times or some shit like
See,
that.
I don't get that.
I know, I thought
mean,
that was
that-
supposed to be the fun.
I mean, I call this the warp whistle thing. I mean, the main purpose of the warp whistle in Mario Brothers 3 was to cheat yourself out of gameplay.
Yeah, I could kind of understand it if you... Because you can get up to the last stage in Mario Brothers 3 and then die, and then you have to play through the whole thing again. I can understand why that would get a little frustrating.
Well,
by the
occasionally I
end.
like to watch a speedrun, but I always, if I want to watch a Mario 3 speedrun, I always go for the no warp whistle
No warp whistles, yeah,
speedrun.
because it's...
Because of course you're going to be able to speed through it in 5 minutes if you do the warp whistles. That's not skill.
Yeah.
Getting through Half-Life in 25 minutes, that's skill.
Fuck, some of those speedruns are amazing. Just-
Well, a lot of it uses, you know, physics exploits and stuff.
yeah, but still.
Like, you can bypass huge areas of Half-Life 2 by holding a physics object underneath you and jumping in such a way to fly like Mary Poppins with a brolly.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Well, it's a pretty arcane trick.
Uh.
But, yeah, you can go crazy with that if you know what you're doing.
So yeah, I find it peculiar and... it's just so obnoxious. And the fact that there's treasure chests you can't open unless you've downloaded the app.
Yes, the fact they put it there in the game,
Yeah.
just to tantalize you.
Well, that I think is where you start getting into the... You know, if it was just on the Assassin's Creed store page, it'd be kind of stupid and pointless, but also they're not rubbing it in your face. They're not clearly trying to grift you. You know, you're kind of your own fault if you want to buy it at that point.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to quote myself, you know that. Oh, actually, hate's the wrong word. Love. That's the
yeah,
word
I
I was after. I love to
there.
quote myself. Oh,
Yahtzee
those,
Croshaw 2014.
those guys with the chairs had one job.
I'm gonna quote you when I say that now.
But yes, when I was talking about Dead Space 3 in the video...
I don't know about Dead Space 3, so
Well,
what
that
did
had
it do?
microtransactions for, like, the crafting stuff, which was basically the pay money to win the game for less effort and feel less fulfilled. My point was that this seems to be the equivalent of walking into a bank with a ski mask on, putting a bucket on the floor, and saying, I'm going now, but if anyone wants to put money in that bucket, you know, the option's open.
A crowd-funded bank robbery. I believe I could see that happen one day.
And if anyone actually does put money in the bucket, that's their own fucking fault. I
Yeah.
blame them more than I blame the very stupid man who came into
I
the
got the
bank
monkey.
with the bucket in the first place. But when it's pushed,
Yeah, that I think is the key difference for me as
and
well.
they are starting to push it a lot, is where it gets annoying. I mean, I'm fine with advertising. I'm fine with... because I make most of my living from it. I mean,
What kind of advertising in games?
if you just put it on, like... there's like a billboard in a sandbox game. I can
Oh,
live with
yeah, that. Who cares?
Yeah.
If anything, that adds a bit of realism to it.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, look, KFC. Well, that's a
Yeah.
real thing
maybe,
that exists.
Maybe I'll have some KFC later. Thanks for reminding me, sign.
Forgot that existed.
But it's when it's intrusive and it's actually removing things from the experience until you've done your bit.
Yeah.
I mean, my videos are ad supported and you can watch them all for free. You might have to watch an ad beforehand, I like to think that's a small price to pay. But the fact that we've had to pay full price for the games already...
Yeah, that's
and
another
it's
thing.
being... Funny enough, I think it was Ubisoft that experimented a while back with ad-supported cheap games. They released... I think they might have even released it for free. They released Sands of Time for free, they released one of the Splinter Cells for free, and supported it with ads as a sort of pilot scheme.
Huh.
But it never really went further than that.
How are the ads implemented in these games?
I don't know. I remember asking someone, but all they said was that it wasn't intrusive. I didn't play any of them myself.
If there were natural loading screens, the loading screen just had a fucking ad come up, that would
Yeah,
bother
I
me.
mean, we have to put up with that anyway.
Yeah, I don't really care what I look at in the load screen.
And yeah, Unity's got a big problem there as well, incidentally.
Really?
Fucking loading times. Yeah, put a Snickers ad on the loading screens.
Yeah,
wouldn't have cared. Make your money that way.
Yeah, Enzo, you're not yourself without your Snickers. That's...
Uh,
If Enzo's... Is he Enzo this time around?
Enzo.
I don't know who it is.
Well, A, it was Ezio, and B,
Ezio.
no.
Enzo's a wrestler. Oh, okay. Who is it this time?
It's about 300 years after that. It's the French Revolution.
Oh, that's right. This is the French one.
I mean, Ezio was the Renaissance. That's
Ezio.
the 15th century. Did you not study history?
I haven't done European Middle Ages yet.
Did you not study one of the most pivotal moments in the history of civilization?
Oh, no, I'm going to, but I just haven't done it yet. You start out sort of with more ancient... The one I've been doing this semester was modern Chinese history, which is actually quite interesting.
I mean, I like... what I've liked about the Assassin's Creed series is that they've made me want to learn more about the history.
Yeah.
I mean, I played Assassin's Creed 2, I was like, now I'm going to read Wikipedia pages on all the real-life figures. But from like Assassin's Creed 3 onwards, they almost seems like they kind of got lost in the history.
What do you mean?
Well, it's kind of like celebrity appearances in badly written episodes of The Simpsons. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, hey, it's X, they're famous for Y. Now we're going to hang out with them for a bit and be their friend.
Oh, The Simpsons, you poor creature.
I mean, there's a bit in Unity where you meet Napoleon Bonaparte and
The game
they just sort of like instantly recognize each other as potential friends. Like, hey, it's you, famous person. Well, yes, it's me. You seem like a fine fellow. Let's be friends.
I wonder if you'll be important in France's future somehow.
It's like the magic school bus approach to teaching history. I mean, I liked it in like the first Assassin's Creed because it was all just there.
There. Well, you point
You
out
were like all the famous historical events, and you were on the fringe of it.
which stimulated you to learn more.
Yeah,
Motivation. That's actually a very important education.
Hey, William de Montferrat was a real life figure.
Stop trying to get me, robot.
Hmm.
Bad touching. Well, given that it's taken and given that it has had an actual negative, effect on the stock, do you think this is something we could see maybe not get repeated?
Well, Ubisoft are already saying they're going to review their practices.
Interesting.
I mean, not making money is about the only way you can get a corporation to do that.
Yeah.
So we'll see where we are when the dust settles, I suppose.
Be fun to watch. I suppose,
Yes.
I mean, it's... Do you think the negativity would be so bad if it weren't for sort of gameplay elements that are buggy and things like that? Do you think if it was a really good game and it had those dumb microtransactions in it, do you think it'd be getting
Well, I'm
such a
trying
hard
to
roll,
think
or-
of a really good game that had microtransactions in it as well.
Well, I can't think of one, but I'm just sort of,
I'm
just
trying
curious
to
to
think
see if
in
you...
terms of a recent game.
What you might think of that.
I mean, if the microtransactions are just there and they're
Yeah.
not pushed at you.
Well, that's, yeah, like, if they're on the shop page, where it's like, if you want to, you can do this, then...
Well, I don't know about microtransactions, but there is a shitload of DLC for Saints Row 4, which basically just amounts to costumes.
Yeah.
But it's...
There was a period when the alternate costume pack for Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 cost more than the game.
But costumes isn't the same as, something that makes the game easier.
No. That's...
Costumes just like an optional bonus.
Cosmetic, and that's your choice. If you want to spend a load of money on costumes, your business.
I mean, the other sort of thing is like, oh, are you not doing too well? Well, maybe we can provide an easy way out. Touch nose, touch nose.
Yeah, how about we sell you all these,
You grease my palm, I'll grease yours.
Ubisoft fun bucks.
That made sense in my head.
Greasy palms make the world work.
Yes. Well, if you shake hands with a greasy palmed man, then everyone's got greasy palms.
Yeah. And then your back is scratched somehow. And we're doing favors.
Yes, I slipped with my greasy palms.
And gotten in bed with someone.
Managed to scratch your back while in bed with something.
Nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
I scratched your back while I was in bed with you because I was trying to reach over to the nightstand and you got in the way.
And grease your palms.
Yes, and then I tenderly kissed you on the shoulder.
Yay, children, come touch me. We should actually not push a button because when the kids run up, Michael Jacksons just do that pose where they open their jacket and expose their groin for some reason.
Okay, let's remember that for next time.
Yeah, we have to see groin.
Well, I get the feeling we've hyped it up too much now.
It is the most perfect, amazing thing you will see all day.
You, robot, show us your moves.
Oh, the robots actually do some good.
Yeah, I figured they would. There, I untied you with my magic crotch.
Now run, bitch. Run! Run from Michael!
Yes, it's no fun without a chase.
It's the anticipation, Yahtzee. You can't run, children.
I will save Heidi of the Alps and young me. Oh,
Mini
and there's a member of the Burger King Kids Club back here as well.
Don't make me laugh. My lungs can't take it.
Oh, didums. You and your human complaints.
When did you get your cyber upgrade? Was it troubling at first? Like, what did it feel like?
I don't understand why everyone doesn't do it. Now I'm untroubled by all those emotions that used to get in the way when I was murdering people.
I think those emotions were the last, thing stopping you from just truly ascending.
Well, quite.
I have ascended.
I had a laugh the other day. Someone said, "Remember who you once were."
Who said? Did someone say that to you?
So I said, "I did. He was a twat," and then I ate their face.
I'm honestly at a loss to work out how much of that is a fake story and how much of that is a real story.
Hey, a lot of helicopters in the sky around Brisbane lately.
Oh, yeah. Brisbane's doing its thing where it tries to be relevant again.
Well, as we speak, the G20 summit is going on.
G20?
I got fucking trapped in the city centre yesterday. I was out buying a new fan, because my old one packed in.
Yeah.
And while I was in the city, they closed off all the roads, so I couldn't get back to my house.
So you were, forced to remain in the city and the shop.
I was forced to wait at the crossings with all these barriers and police officers as fucking convoys went past. And it's a funny thing, the new fan I'd bought was like an upright one, so it came in a very long box. So there I was, just picture the scene, me walking through the city centre during G20, completely dressed in black, with sunglasses and my beard, holding a long box under my arm, coincidentally about the same size as the box that the Terminator was holding in Terminator 2 when he had a fucking gun inside it. And waiting at crowded areas for a convoy to go past.
From the right angles, you could look like an extreme right-wing terrorist.
Well, quite. I mean, I wasn't actually, approached, but I'd fucking bet there were some police officers on their walkie-talkies when I walked past.
Yep.
Probably saying something like, figure of interest, 6 o'clock.
I wonder what the thing they say is.
Oh, they've probably got some, acronym for it. Person of interest.
Person of interest. POI. Oh, come to me, robot monkey. I need your powers.
How dare you...
There goes my monkey. Damn it, come back here, you fucking...
POI, how dare you imply I'm incontinent? I'll eat your face.
I'll eat your face.
Oh.
So you were trapped in the city.
Yeah.
Where do you think you're going, citizen? Get back into Maya. Start shopping.
And you know what really chapped my spuds? Is that while I was waiting at the barrier to be allowed to cross the road to get back to my house, which was about 100 yards away, I overheard some old middle-aged women walking past on some kind of shopping trip. Walking past who apparently had the luxury of not needing to cross a road at that point and said to themselves, "Oh, look at all these people who come out just to see cars with blacked out windows." And I was like, fuck you, old women.
That's not me. That's not me. I'm not one of the sheeple. You didn't even have to do that anyway.
Look at my box that isn't an M60. I'm obviously just trying to walk this home.
Angela Merkel was wandering around Caxton Street last night.
Was she?
Yeah, there's pictures of people getting selfies with her. Well, she was staying at the,
Where's Caxton Street again?
It's... Okay, my brain just went, oh, it's on Caxton Street.
Cool.
It's near the, football stadium. It's where, like,
Right.
Hotel LA is, and Lefties if you want to go to a decent bar along Caxton, and Stadler and Waldorf's on Caxton as well now. There's actually some good places there. But, yeah,
yes.
she was wandering around, and there's people just selfies with Angela Merkel because she was on her way to the hotel she was staying at.
Okay, then.
Just hilarious to me. I bet she, like, had a couple of Jaegers, maybe picked up.
I'm sure she was flanked by security the whole time. Like, photo opportunities. Like, let's meet with the apparently harmless ones. I bet they were very rigorously screened.
Mostly benign.
Patted on their way up. Like, baby carriages searched, the whole shebang. Oh, well, unless it was, German security and not Australian security. I mean, the Germans
I'm
are more
presuming
efficient.
German, yeah.
Australian security would probably be more prejudiced.
Brown person, eyes on
It's
brown,
funny
eyes
where,
on brown.
It's funny where we're at, isn't it?
It's a weird world.
The Germans are less prejudiced than the Australians.
Well, they got it all out of their system. That's, you know,
Yeah,
they managed to get it. They managed to get it done. They got all that silliness done
yeah.
in fairly spectacular fashion.
Perfectly lovely people now. No sense of humour, but nice people. Oh look, the guys with the chairs found some rocks.
Yeah.
Now's our chance to shine. We were only trained in one area of combat.
Throw.
One very specific area of combat.
Donkey Kong School of
This
Lobbing
evil
shit.
organisation's working to a budget. Everyone can only have 1 day of self-defense training. Like the one guy who learned how to hop, the one guy who learned how to shoot a gun, the one guy who learned how to stab, and they get very excited about it.
Imagine, like, being there and you see other guys getting, oh, you're getting a gun. Oh, that's cool. Oh, this guy gets to pilot like a fucking robot. Oh, that's cool. This guy gets a fucking wheel that he can ride around in. What do I get? Here's your chair. You know he's got, like, magic powers, right? Like, I saw him the other day. He was, like, shooting Hadoukens out of his hand.
Well, you could always apply for retraining after your tour is over.
After you successfully defeat Michael Jackson. No one can defeat Michael Jackson.
He just, like, made 100 fucking guys dance and then they died.
Yeah, you can't beat his rhythms.
He has power over free will.
He's Professor X, but can only enforce music video dance-offs.
I mean, why'd you have to kidnap his children?
Not his biological children, just his collection of children.
Why couldn't we have just smuggled drugs?
Like a regular goddamn gang. But no, we had to be a global pedophile ring.
Well,
So what else has been happening?
well, speaking of international affairs, Sweden is considering adding a sexism rating to video games. Now, Sweden, a country that has given quite a lot of lip service to the feminism movement, almost to a fault, I'd say. Do you think fathers' rights can be a bit unfair in the West? Bloody hell.
I love that, like, you have this studious, let's not, like, you know, earlier I wanted to talk about something and you were like, no, I don't want to bait the SJWs. I'm like, alright. It's like,
Well, it is
now-
pretty fucking ridiculous.
Now we're gonna
in-
run, like,
in
just
Sweden.
fuck it, like, let's Sidorak gem this motherfucker, run through a wall.
Well, I've heard stories from Sweden, and this kind of proves all those stories true. This because I think it's pretty stupid to put
It's
a sexism
asinine,
rating on it.
because, again, it's, you know, it's like we were
asinine.
talking about the,
Asinine. Look at Mr. College with his $10 words.
yeah, I don't want to get too didactic now, do I, Artie?
Well, the difference is that, you know, you can rate a game for violence because you can look at the game and say, oh, look.
It's quantifiable.
Yes. Oh, look, there's precisely 2.8 quarts of blood on screen. This brings it up to a PG. But sexism is an interpretation of someone else's work. It's not a quantifiable thing.
No,
I mean,
don't tell that to the idiots.
You can't count it in nipple slips.
TV does, though, man. Like, sometimes you'll see something gets rated M for sex scene. Not scenes or sexual content, they count.
A sex scene.
Yeah, a sex scene. There is a penetration. There is a sex. Look
You know,
out the sex.
I always hated when I was a teenager when a film would say, this film contains strong sex scenes.
And then it didn't.
And that would always catch you out because you think the thing you want to watch out for was nudity and strong sex scenes.
Yahtzee has cracked the code of how to masturbate in the 90s.
Because if it was just strong sex scenes, they're probably just humping. Or
yeah.
it's probably a rape scene or
Some
something.
over-the-clothes humping.
Some dramatic rape scene, and I can't get off to that.
Well, yeah, it. You know, you've already brought up it's a non-quantifiable. It's a matter of opinion, like this, malarkey over Bayonetta.
Yes.
And I mean, that's the thing is there's intersections where someone's personal power fantasy and someone's sexual fantasy are going to cross over. Bayonetta was designed by a woman as a personal power fantasy.
Well, this was a point I made in a column last week. I was saying that it is possible to be sexually arousing for one person and inspiring for someone else.
Well, that's the thing.
Without taking away from either one of them.
I like viciously intelligent, aggressive, sexually liberated women. That's my gay. What? Like, are you going to stop being that now just because I like it?
Well, the other point I made with Bayonetta is that's a weird case because you say she's sexually liberated, but she never actually has sex. She just uses it for violence. Like, she uses sex to destroy things. And I personally think that's an attitude still rooted in prudishness. It's still implying sex is something dangerous. It's just, it's alright, we've harnessed it now.
It's like, the kind of people who can watch, people nearly kill themselves or give themselves concussions on a football field and then shit when they see a nipple.
Well, that wasn't really my point, but okay.
No, but it's the prudishness of it. Like, it's... Sexuality, I don't think sexuality is something to be feared. I don't think female sexuality is something that needs to be covered up or, blocked or obstructed. I don't think it's mutually exclusive.
The thing is, if you're too open about sex, then it's too easy for minors to be exposed to it, and then you're getting paedophilia accusations.
And then you're a child rapist.
Smooth criminal, eh?
Just got touched by one Yahtzee. Just got touched by
Something was bothering me about this walk animation. It's like he only moves by moving the lower part of his leg.
Yeah, like his knees are a bit lower down.
Yeah, his knees just seem to be the only joint moving. His hip joints aren't moving at all.
He can probably do that.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I'm
sure he's had surgery.
Absolute hip control.
Game concept and design by Michael Jackson. I question that.
That's sexism rating for games. That and it gets back to the video games don't cause violence. They also don't cause sexism.
Well, yes. I mean...
there is no... I've read things that have tried to argue this.
It's the same argument. It's video games can warp your mind.
Yeah. Or comic books make you gay.
No, the most a violent video game can do is inspire an act of violence. It can't make someone violent who wasn't already violent.
Wasn't already probably going to be a little bit of trouble anyway. That and, if someone's actually does have a propensity for violence, they will probably be drawn to violent content.
But I'm sure we're all preaching to the choir here.
What time? What are we up to here? We're going to play through this again?
Oh, we're all the way up to 47 minutes now.
Oh, Jesus.
I think we should stand in place and flash at the camera for a while.
Yeah, alright.
Never gets old.
Remember this, viewers. Remember the day that was a thrill ride when you watched people play through Michael Jackson's Moonwalker 3 goddamn times. Alright, we'll kill this guy, and then we'll just stand here.
Hey! You can't oppress our freedoms, Mr. Big.
While.
Ow!
Ow!
You dick!
Your bombs of prudishness. You just don't understand.
I'm trying to let everyone see my red braces over here. Yeah, check them out.
Oh god, I have a new screensaver.
I got them from Mitchell and Ogilvy. You jealous?
Sexism rating in games.
Yes, that was the topic. Let's try to think of something new to say.
Well, I mean, I'm thinking about, Lollipop Chainsaw, for instance, as well. That's another one that comes up. And it's I think she's a great character. One of the lines in it was, my mother taught us to wear our vaginas with pride. And it's people go, would you like your daughter doing that? It's yes.
Some monsters spawn.
Oh.
Somehow.
Okay, yeah. This is an arcade game, so they're not going to let us... You're not allowed to just stand around.
Oh, yeah. Gotta let someone else... Gotta let someone else have a go. Cheeky. No, I think people are too quick to declare misogyny these days.
Especially considering that misogyny is the hatred of women.
Yeah.
Sexism, paternalism, that's definitely there. Condescending, sure.
I mean, condescension, that's not a hatred of women, surely. That's, I mean, you can like someone and condescend to them.
It doesn't matter, Yahtzee. Our opinions are meaningless.
Yeah, I suppose.
Your testicles invalidate.
Also, we're white and cis.
Oh, I know.
We haven't even considered fucking another man, not even each other. Well, I say we haven't considered.
I thought I might have been gay for a while, but there's a pretty easy test for that.
I have done Gabriel up the arse, but we didn't consider it. It was sort of a spur of the moment thing.
We didn't make eye contact.
No.
That's...
He wasn't awake.
And, you know, at the end we said no homo. So...
Well, I said no homo.
Yeah, well that's all it takes. There's one party to the act has to say no homo.
You didn't even know until you got that postcard, did you?
No. And even then it was just kind of funny. You know, remember like bros icing bros? Yeah. It was just like, oh dude, you got me.
It wouldn't have been funny if I hadn't put that party hat on you first, would it?
Well, that makes it a prank.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's the solution to the problem, is just bros raping bros.
Yes.
Just, dude, got you.
And that's the story of our wedding night.
Yeah.
Yes, I went on the honeymoon, he went off to the laceration hospital.
Yeah, you gotta, you know, you gotta start a little gentler next time.
Sent you the postcard from Rio. Well, it's not my fault if the only lube in the house was your tears.
I had thought to bottle them earlier. Womb. Womb, says the machine. Womb.
How reprehensible can we make this?
Oh, please, I'm not even fucking trying.
Well, you certainly weren't that night. Boom! Boom.
Right.
I did Gabriel up the arse.
Butt stuff. That's innately funny.
But that's a good point, actually. Why is it funny when it's me raping another man?
Because it's like, dog bites man, not news. Man bites dog, news.
I mean, imagine if you were a lady. I'm going to do that now. Imagine if you were a lady. Everyone would be up my arse.
Well, that's because you're heterosexual.
As well as me being up your
Whereas,
arse.
like, a gay guy could joke about raping a lady or wanting to fuck her or something like that, and it's a joke because he's not going to. I suppose it creates the safety.
Well, yes.
Dance!
In our defense, we do tend to talk about rape a lot, but look, we are playing a Michael Jackson game.
It's absolutely
contextually
relevant.
Honestly, I don't think his intentions were ever anything less than innocent, because I think he was forever a child in a man's body.
Yeah, dude, like, there's a lot of circumstances under which I wouldn't buy that fucking excuse.
Child in a man's body combined with the Hollywood, we can't say no to him, whatever he wants to do attitude.
Yeah, that, like, dude grew up with Papa Joe Jackson in a fucking, theater family. I'm sure there's probably a lot of problems there that were just genuinely tied to having not had a fucking childhood.
Yes, he wanted to be Peter Pan.
Yeah, which is tragic. I mean, he probably slept in the same bed as kids, and I'm not saying that's not fucking weird and, wildly inappropriate, but at the same time, I don't think he diddled him.
Yeah, I mean, we're not qualified to say one way or the other, because I'm not saying it's not entirely outside the bounds of possibility either.
This is the side I err on.
I mean,
if there was a war.
I mean, he was physically an adult. I'm sure he had some instincts in that area. I
don't know, maybe he will.
I mean, he fathered children, didn't he, allegedly?
I don't know. I believe he masturbated into a vial, I think. And I think he was probably unconscious for that. Like, he probably, had to be knocked out, and then they, zoologists went in and milked him and...
Oh, I remembered something else about that Sweden thing. Apparently Sweden already rates films based on the Bechdel test.
That's pointless.
Yes.
That's like, I'm curious as to what that's supposed to assist. Like,
well, the Bechdel test, if you're confused...
No, I mean, I know what that is, but I'm curious as to how that's...
I'm talking to the audience here. If you're not familiar with it, the Bechdel test is there more than one female character in it? Do they interact with each other? And do they, at any point, discuss something other than a man? But it's massively open to interpretation.
Well, it's an interesting...
What does it prove when a film fails it? Because, Das Boot fails it. There's no women in it. It's a great film.
Fight Club.
I mean,
that's not to do with women.
I mean, Das Boot fails it because it's a historical film about a submarine in which there were no women. I mean,
Thing. I don't think there's not a woman in the Thing.
It seems to me the Bechdel test is arguing for tokenism. I don't think tokenism helps anything.
Well, the more sensible things I've read on it are that it's meant to be sort of just an interesting sort of, it's a thought stimulator.
I guess.
And that's fine. It's when you try to use it as an actual measure of a film, as a singular measure of a film.
It's when you're using it as an official measurement.
Well, I think like there are things that would on the reverse. It's a matter of narrative structure. There are things that would on the reverse fail like a dude version of that, and they fail that for the better. Like Orange is the New Black. That show got shitty by the end of the first season when it started to focus on the male characters. I wasn't interested in the male characters. I didn't watch that show to give a shit about Jason Biggs. I watched it because it's not called Help My Girlfriend's in Jail. It's about fucking this woman's prison. It was interesting.
You watched Orange is the New Black, do you?
Yeah, I thought the first season. I haven't seen the second season yet. The first season started to get a little fucking patchy for me when they started dragging in Porn Stash and the other fucking male prison guards and trying to sort of integrate them into the story a little more. But the show was good. It's a funny, fucking interesting show.
Have you watched Sex and the City as well?
No.
You big lady.
I've watched Girls. Girls is alright. One that's actually really good and genuinely funny, Broad City. That is fucking good.
Oh, Girls.
Yeah, if you're in the market for something that's from a female perspective and actually like funny, Broad City, I'd recommend that. There's some great moments in that.
I'm afraid someone's going to bring up Lena Dunham, so I guess I did just then.
Dun dun dun.
Well, let's leave that without a backward glance.
Like she did the molestation of her sister.
Shut up. Let's not make this the pedophilia shebang,
She's the
shall
Michael
we?
Jackson of our era.
The pedophilia, like social justice, like fucking singularity at this point.
It's a delicious nuggety. I think it's strawberry flavored.
If you like. Let's go to questions. Why not?
I actually had a question on my Twitter that I thought might be some people
Okay.
asked some questions because we've been sort of rattling through the same old. Oh, well, there's one. What game series do you think could work well if made into a TV show, Yahtzee?
Relevant. And that's from Don't Ask 4470. Well, fuck you, Don't Ask 4470, because we did ask 4470.
Yeah!
Um,
Boom
well,
shakalaka.
Well, first, and here's me doing your thing, where we discuss the question without answering it.
Well, I think that's good. I like hearing what you think about things. Like, I ask you questions because I want to hear your thoughts and your thought processes.
Well,
like,
now you're
doing it.
Yeah, now you're doing it. But what I wanted to do was, in answer to this question, is firstly discuss what TV shows have been made from video games, and let's not count cartoons because
it's a bit easy.
Because they made Saturday morning cartoon shows out of fucking everything. You couldn't stop them.
They made Saturday morning cartoon shows out of wholly inappropriate, not child-friendly movies. RoboCop was a Saturday morning cartoon series. That's an R-rated film.
I think we've discussed this.
Toxic Crusader.
Yes, I think we said this very thing in the previous video. But the only live-action one I know of that was adapted from video games was Maniac Mansion.
Oh, God, I haven't thought about that in fucking ages.
Yes.
I gotta fucking download that when I get home now.
I guess those new online series for Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter might count.
I don't think sort of. I mean, the modern is the modern era really, especially like internet-based series, because I think they're free of a lot of the sort of problems that network television or major, sort of organization television would.
Well, if we like extend this from TV show to web series, whatevs.
Yeah.
Then I'd say Team Fortress 2 straight away. I wish they'd make shorts more often than once a year or whatever.
I agree with you, but at the same time, I think it's beautiful that they're just, it's like it's so rare. It's just, oh, look,
Yes.
Team Fortress 2 short. Oh, it's amazing, and it's
5
minutes long and it's brilliant.
I did like the Expiration Day short, but I thought it was really fucking obvious which voice actors they hadn't been able to get back for it.
Yeah, it's kind of a bummer. Like, why? Do you know why they hadn't?
Well, some of them just aren't always available, and of course, Valve iterate to a fault. So maybe they had them in, but just decided to rewrite the whole thing from scratch and couldn't get them all back in again.
Yeah, that's a shame.
So they had Robin Atkin Downes, the medic. They had the spy and the scout. Obviously, they obviously couldn't get the heavy back in.
That's a shame.
Because he had like one line that was obviously just from the game assets.
Hey, I know that dialogue.
And it's the same guy who voices the heavy, also voices the demo man actually. So the same happened with the demo man.
Huh.
And they couldn't get the engineer back in, so they just got Nolan North in to pretend to do the engineer voice. Did a good job. He's in fucking everything, isn't he?
At least he's getting, you know, good for him. Voice act. I think it's kind of nice that voice actors are kind of having a bit of a moment in the sun, you know.
If you say so.
Yeah.
I mean,
Monkey of Power.
Yeah, so I'd like them to do like a full Team Fortress series. They've established the characters, and then they're pretty good characters, and they work well together.
Oh god damn it! You absorbed the second monkey for no reason. Ah, now I'm human, Michael. Fuck it, I'm dancing. Well, if we're gonna do the web series, I think the Street Fighter World Warrior was really well done, and the Street Fighter Assassin's Fist was really well done, and they're doing World Warrior, so I'm really looking forward to that.
Okay, so what about something else that isn't one yet?
What about something that isn't? Sorry, I missed that last bit.
What about a game that isn't a web series yet?
Okay.
Well, what game has like an interesting universe and story that you'd like to see explored?
I think Half-Life could possibly make a legitimate science fiction show.
I don't know. Kind of had that limited pool of characters problem. It raises the question of why everyone involved with the Resistance in Half-Life 2 just happened to work at Black Mesa Research Facility.
Well, I mean, I was gonna say things could be changed, but I mean, would people chuck a fucking fit about that? Okay, think. What could make a good episodic?
Well, I think Saints Row as a series I really like. It's got a cast of characters. I think, you know, I was replaying Saints Row 4 after playing Sunset Overdrive and being reminded of it, and suddenly like noticing in comparison what a fucking masterwork it is.
Which one? Sunset?
Saints Row 4, in comparison to Sunset Overdrive, is a fucking masterwork.
Really?
Yeah, because it's comedy, but it never, you know, it's self-aware without being self-referential. It never breaks the fourth wall. Everything, it actually has some dramatic moments. Everything makes sense within the context of the game world, but it's also like funny because it keeps that straight face.
Yeah.
It's like someone with an incredibly serious look on their face in like a action pose, but wearing underpants on their face, and their serious face never breaks as they stare into the middle distance.
Leslie Nielsen.
And it's, yeah, exactly, the deadpan thing. It's just, the more it goes on, the funnier it is. Sunset Overdrive is just, look at us, aren't we cool and funny?
Internet funny, funny.
Look at these nerds, we're cooler than them, ha ha. That was the whole attitude running through it. So I'd like...
So, like, kind of late Kevin Smith films where he's just, like, looking at the screen and going, I'm a filmmaker, isn't that funny?
Sort of. More Naked Gun, less
Seltzer and Freiberg.
Less epic movie.
Yeah, Seltzer and Freiberg. Kind of makes me sick. Here's a question for you, by my 1,000 faces. What do you consider an unforgivable sin or sins in video game design? Which I think will be a good topic for you to discuss.
Well, I'd say QuickTime events probably a good start. Although there's a new thing now that I've noted that's like a QuickTime event, but isn't quick. And isn't even a reflex challenge, it just says... It's like the press F to pay respects thing in Call of Duty Advanced Warfare.
Oh yeah, like just weird...
It's like, you cannot continue with this glorified cutscene until you press the button, there is no actual timer on it.
Yeah, it's just...
that is...
I'm kind of like...
It's not even gameplay, it's just why is it there? I don't understand. It's just, are you still awake?
Well, could it be related to... I mean, I had quite a positive reaction to the fact that you had to shoot Big Boss at the end of Snake Eater. Which I thought was...
See, I never understood why people
considered
considered that such a great moment, but I never really got into the characters.
No.
Just suit yourself, you know? I mean...
Well, because I think that was also interesting because it didn't say. You had to figure it out. And I think I think that's kind of interesting, and it built up this sense that it was you. You had to kill her. Like.
Well, that's kind of why the Advanced Warfare thing was so mock-worthy, because what you're talking about is playing off an actual emotional impact in the game, whereas this is just trying to...
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying.
This is sort of trying to simulate emotional impact, or just saying... Like, trying to have an emotional impact by basically saying, press F to have an emotional moment.
Press F to pay respects is just stuck in my head. Like, it feels like it would fit in perfectly with tender buttons. Like, sugar is not a vegetable. Press F to pay respects. It just... Yeah. Something about it just got in my fucking head and making me laugh for ages.
You know, the central theme of Portal was GLaDOS trying to manipulate you without really understanding humans. And that's what it sort of reminds me of, like a machine trying to manipulate human emotions without understanding human emotions.
Not really, yeah. You don't get this, buddy. It's not about... I know. So the new, what would you call that?
Slow time events?
Slow time events. I like that. Remember when QuickTime events sort of first popped up in, I think, what is it? Shenmue
Yeah,
was the first one
Shenmue
that
was
made
the
a big
first
deal.
one. That was the one that named it QuickTime Event.
Well, because that was the idea was you got to interact with a cutscene, which I think was a big deal back
Yes, I called it press X to not die.
then. Yeah. Or like I think for a bunch of them it would change how the cutscene outcome a little bit, and you'd get like slightly different plot elements.
I was interviewed by Vice magazine, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it went up this week.
Oh.
They didn't tell me when it was going up. Just thought I'd mention it.
Okay. I'll look at that.
Yes, I forgot to mention it throughout the whole video. I thought I'd better do it quick, smart now. So what's your... You tell the nice people what your unforgivable sin in game design is. I'm going to go find a book.
Okay. Unforgivable sin. That's tough, actually, for me. For like like something that just makes me go. Ugh. I honestly, you know what would trigger me immediately? Like the thing that Unity does, like putting fucking microtrans. Because I hate free to play, the free to play model mostly. I loathe a lot of microtransactions.
Back now.
So yeah, actually putting intrusive microtransactions and connections to like an app to download, I think is really just grotesquely obnoxious.
Okay.
It's on. Okay, I checked it. It's
All
on.
right, just checking.
Has it been recording?
Yeah, it's going out. It didn't seem as loud as it was before.
All right. Oh, the meaning of live.
Yes, I'm gonna choose a word from the meaning of live. I won't
Aren't
choose
these
one.
all words that don't actually?
Well, I won't be choosing one of the made-up words, obviously. I'll be picking one
okay.
from the descriptions of the made-up words.
Oh, that's
Right, say when.
when.
We're on T, if you're interested. Say when.
When.
Arising.
Yeah, that's interesting. What's it describing? Like, what's the word that you landed on?
The word is Tegukigalpa, noun. An embarrassing mistake arising out of confusing the shape of something rather rude with something perfectly ordinary when groping for it in the darkness. A common example of a Tegukigalpa is when a woman pulls a packet of Tampax out of her bag and offers them around under the impression that it is a carton of cigarettes. Oh, this is quite an old book, isn't it?
Yeah, back when people used to have the cigarettes as a social
Yeah,
thing.
back before
I got a different idol animation. Look at
smoking cigarettes in front of people in a social setting wasn't the equivalent of masturbating in front of them.
Soon I'll be able to masturbate. Won't that be a fucking revolution?
Right, well, let's enjoy these two fine specimens to dance alone against the darkness.
White Michael Jackson is supreme Michael Jackson.
What is your final statement to the audience in 5 words?
Rape, 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 rape.
Mine are yes, 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 Gabriel. Yay.
Touch the monkey.
Why do we have that around here?
I know, why do we have the fucking monkey with a robot changing around?
Maybe the monkey was a kidnap victim.
No!
That was not a sentence.
That's so good.
That was just a noise.
Oh, I love this game.
Wait, we
That was
haven't
a
shown
cutscene.
off. We haven't shown off what the other button does.
Oh, cool, the Blues Brothers are here to dance with us.
Wow, they're dancing like they're trying to fling snot off the ends of their hands. Back off, Mr. Jim Z,
Bad
Mr. Jimmy
touch.
Hat. Come back here, Mr. Jimmy Hat.
You leave that child alone!
Yes, they're all mine. You leave that child alone.
Ah, it's time to dance.
You leave that child alone. I haven't finished paying my insurance premiums on that yet.
They're expensive too. It's kind of
Yes.
just.
Jimmy the White Slaver, he's got some extortionate pricing going on.
Well, you know, Jimmy the White Slaver has standards.
Everyone's called Jimmy, since you ask.
There's Jimmy the gun guy, Jimmy the robot.
Oh, I fell on my face
That's
like
okay.
a twat.
You can't kill Red Michael Jackson.
I'll rescue this little blue fat
Yeah.
entity.
Yay, Michael molested me.
Yay, this'll be...
Stop grenading us.
Yay, I'm heading straight to the tabloid newspapers.
Oh, oh. Hey, 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 hey. Stop with your barrels, you donkey
Oh,
kongs.
take a bow, Michael Jackson, because you done fucked up,
His
son.
final bow. Fighting a bunch of Donkey Kong cosplayers.
Here's a symbol of the Red Cross.
Would they be called Kong players?
What?
what little hops they do.
Oh, wow, don't mess with these guys, they've been...
I honestly can't remember. But
That
I
seems like the
believe
sort
them
of
out there.
thing this sort of game would do.
It really does. So I just, You can charge your shot as well and like shoot like little missiles.
Because I say that. Games do that all the time these
Robot
days
dance.
as well.
Oh, that's right, your turn. Come on, Mr. Robot, you can dance
What,
too.
so they didn't bother to make an animation for the robot to dance as well?
Lazy.
I mean, all the fucking Michael Jackson money that was behind this.
Bizarre amount of Michael Jackson money.
There was like... How many different versions of Moonwalker were there for as games?
Two major ones that I remember. There was the console version of this, which is a weird 2D thing where you have to run around rescuing children from cupboards.
Wow, that man clutching that child suddenly makes me very, very excited.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there was...
Squeeze them tight.
There was a thing...
Night Street.
There was a thing that was
Enemy
on...
of Death Street.
I think I'm right in saying Genesis, and
Yes.
where it was a strictly 2D brawler, but had similar sprites to this.
Yeah, it was sort of basic concept, but
There was one I played back in my Commodore 64 days, which was very strange. It was like a top-down thing where you're walking around a city and you were trying to put together the component parts of a bunny suit.
What?
Because it was a reference to a music video. That
I didn't
Michael
think you
Jackson
were
did
able to make this weirdo.
that
But,
had a bunny suit in it.
huh. That one I don't actually know, because I know...
It was called Moonwalker, though.
Oh, interesting. Because like Michael Jackson apparently...
Well, see, Michael Jackson's brain is in the hat. He's like a sort of alien parasite situation. The moment the hat falls off.
Yeah, then it's picked up by another.
Oh no,
become
Rise
the
of
new
the
Michael.
Triad Traps.
It's time to dance!
Of course it is. Punch yourselves in the crotch, stupid gangsters. It's amazing how... Ahoy! Yahtzee Croshaw here, and this is my ex-wife, Gabriel. I killed him. So why don't you talk us through your choice for the words thrill ride?
Well, this was my third choice.
Yes, I get that.
And bear in mind, yeah, so I originally wanted to do some kind of weird roller coaster game that was kind of actiony, and you actually built the roller coaster in front of the track in front of the roller coaster as it was going.
Couldn't finish us with a name, could you?
Can't remember.
Michael Jackson has a face like a spade.
That's racist. Then I wanted to do thrill kill, because I'd had the word thrill in it, and that was a fucking nightmare of trying to get fraps to recognize an emulator, etc., etc.
How do I insert coins?
And then I lost my shit and decided I'd do Michael Jackson's Moonwalker because it has a whole stage dedicated to Thriller.
And why wouldn't you?
Thriller Night.
Now, how do I insert coins?
You push the back button.
Okay. Oh, whoa. Fuck the game, I'm just gonna do this.
Doesn't just stop being fun.
Oh,
and
you
now
kinda-
start, select, so push start. And now me, yeah, so Michael Jackson and another color Michael Jackson are going to
That's
go
racist.
rescue children by touching them.
Yes.
This is a game that,
Was that-
people made deliberately.
Are we gonna rescue that child that just giggled for us there?
No, he's kind of an evil child that's gonna just drop grenades on us periodically throughout the thing.
You're just gonna touch that small
Yeah,
girl?
I'm just gonna, guys...
Well, just to
hold on a
assume
second,
she'll
I
be
have to touch this
alright.
little girl. Yeah.
I'm gonna touch this monkey. Oh, look at me.
Yep, that's what touching a monkey does. Touching children is
real life
just
as
fun.
well.
Touching a monkey actually turns you into a superpowered robot.
Yeah, touching the monkey means it's time for serious business.
Oh yeah. Have you ever seen the movie that this is based on?
Don't mess with me, lads. I touched the monkey. Guys, he touched the monkey to a self-defense course.
That's my purse.
I'm gonna dance.
Good choice.
Well, those guys just kept punching themselves in the crotch.
That's what the power of dance does to you.
No wonder they died.
Yeah. That's just... half of Michael Jackson's dance is a dick punching.
You don't see so many isometric brawlers, do you?
No, this is from that kind of weird era in arcades where just fucking everything was made an arcade game.
Controls are a bit dodgy.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe this is just me. When I'm playing an isometric game, I like up and down to corroborate to moving along the lines of the isometric grid. But that's just me. In this case, moving directly left moves directly left.
Yeah, it's a little bit of an odd one. You kind of have to zigzag your way through the stages.
I'm gonna punch this man. Stop playing, you lovable gypsy. Hey,
He's not a lovable gypsy, he's a hate-filled gypsy.
I was ahead of the curve there.
Yeah. You could detect his filthy gyppo ways.
Fucking gypsies.
Filthy. So much casual racism in this game, it disgusts me.
Yeah, take Michael Jackson's example. White is right.
You got the robot monkey.
Always.
Stop stealing the now you just...
Oh, I fell over.
Ah, you come back as the robot, so you like robot forever. I didn't know that. I thought it was like a short-term power-up.
Turns out this robot suit fucking top-heavy. Probably should have realised that. I mean, look at my epaulets.
Metal Michael.
Those are like crash helmets.
Oh no, we're both robots.
Yes. This is how it should be.
Robot-y Michael Jackson's saving the day. I had this exact dream.
Can I take a wild stab in the dark here? Is there a sequence in this game where you also turn into the car from Moonwalker, the film?
I can't remember actually. I think it might be like a reference to it, but I don't know if there's a gameplay element.
When you do that, is there like a sudden gameplay shift so you're driving along a road avoiding other cars? How easily led these guys are.
Ow! That was a dance of futility and I got hit by a car.
Wouldn't kill you to have a run animation, would it, Mr. Michael Jackson?
That would have taken so much extra effort back then.
Why doesn't he just walk backwards everywhere while you're at it?
He does when you're charging your shots. See, look. I'm gonna moonwalk up to you.
Path.
Well, we'll get a nice MIDI version of that song pretty soon if we haven't already.
And now we're fighting giant pieces of stationery.
Watch the penis robot dance. Yeah, do it.
Oh god, it has got a penis as well. There is a thrusting penis robot next to two innocent, restrained children, and we are Michael Jackson.
Yeah, okay, let's see. My white Michael Jackson and your red Michael Jackson are going to make the penis AT-AT dance near these kids, and that'll save the day.
See, at the point when you can mock something just by describing it word for word, is the point where you probably should reconsider.
Yeah, stop drilling, you've struck oil.
When those knife guys run in place, I imagine that run in place sound effect from old Warner Brothers cartoons, which I'm not going to try to imitate because it is such a unique sound.
So many of the, like, how did they, there's probably a documentary about, like...
there's probably some Foley artist who was paid millions for that. Or probably not, because it was Hollywood.
Yeah, well, it's like the
old...
He
was paid 10p in a kiss, and then the sound effect made $10 million for the company.
Yeah, he was paid in not being beat up by goons. Well, that's...
Hired goons?
Ray, what's he? I can't remember his name, but he did the song Powerhouse. The dun 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 dun.
I was going to say Harryhausen.
No, but
then you said Powerhausen.
Powerhausen. That sounds like a German band.
Powerhausen. I think that's what the name of those dogs are.
Powerhouses.
Powerhausen Hund. Och, ach nein, the Powerhausen Hund.
I'm calling them Power Schnauzers.